We are live now.
Okay, you have to get your presentation back.
Yeah.
Yeah, please start now.
Okay. Can you hear me, sir?
Yes.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can.
Yes.
Okay. Thank you so much. Appreciate very much. First invocation. Om Sri Gurubhyo Namo Namah. Om Sri Ganeshaya Namo Namah. Om Sri Ved Purushaya Namo Namah. Om Sri Vat Devyai Namo Namah. Om Sri Saraswatyai Namo Namah. Om Maya Devyai Namo Namah. Angirasaయ Namo Namah. Om Kapilaya Namo Namah. Om Gargaya Namo Namah. Om Sri Vedabhyasaయ Namo Namah. Om Sri Dharmaya Namo. Om Sri Mata Satyai Namo Namah. Om Sri Radha Krishnabhyam Namo Namah. My humble pranam to all of you for coming and joining in this lecture and the continuation of the series. Next slide, please. Hello. Next slide, please. No, before that, number 2. No, you have moved too far. Before that, yes, that was the one. After lesson 5, then the next slide, please. Yes, thank you so much. My dear listeners, this is the third course in the series, starting under the newly proposed umbrella term, Lok Sangrah Yogadharma-Kshetra. In the first course, we talked about the foundational ideas, doctrines. And second course, we spelled out the pragmatic aspect of the ideas. And third one out of those pragmatic aspect, one of the branches was Samskaara Yogadharma-Kshetra. And out of that Samskaara Yogadharma-Kshetra, a special case or one of the branches is the Vivaaha Samskaara Yogadharma-Kshetra. So this is what we are continuing. This is the fifth lecture in the series. Now, just to remind the listeners, in the previous lecture, we had talked about the different kind of sanskar. We talked about there were primarily settled down only 16 sanskaras. Out of 16, 3 are considered to be most prevalent, most popular. The Janma Sanskar, the Vivaaha Samskaara, and Mrityu Sanskar. I have dealt with Mrityu Sanskar in other lectures. So let us continue here. There was another very important aspect that we brought out in the last lecture, and what something to do creation of Grahastha Ashram. We'll continue that as we go along. The creation of Grahastha Ashram is very, very, very important for the whole Vivaaha Samskar and how it can be placed within the wider context of human relations and human existence. And we talked about that we create the boundary. It's called the physical boundary, intellectual boundary, emotional boundary, ethical boundary, all kinds of boundaries that the physical boundary contains. All that you have to have a privacy within your physical boundary. And through that physical boundary, those different boundaries that we create, we communicate back and forth to the rest of the world. That's what we were addressing it. This particular lecture will focus more on the rituals. What do you mean by rituals? Why they have to be performed, and what the relevance and meaning of those rituals for the Vivaaha Samskaara. Let me start with the what you call the quotation. There are two quotations, one by me, one by Professor Bill Durant, the great British historian, wrote A Story of Civilization. And he writes very, very forcefully, India is the motherland of our race, and Sanskrit is the mother of European language. She was the mother of our philosophy, mother through the Arabs of much of our mathematics, mother through the Buddha of ideals embodied in Christianity, mother through the village committee of self-government and democracy. Mother India is, in many ways, mother of us all. Such a powerful, authentic statement. Now, this is my statement under contemporary experiences of the what you call motherland Bharat. And the same India has remained politically, socially, intellectually, and mentally slave. The same India remained plunged into deep darkness of jnana. And the same India has lost the glory of motherhood. And the same India that is Bharat now is at the crossroads of civilizational decay and death, or potentiality of renaissance for achieving even the greater glory. This course must be looked at as a deep commitment towards the goal of renaissance, achieving renaissance. Let's have a next slide, please. World of rituals. Rituals is the terms that were used in the original linguistic vocabulary is called dharma vidhi or anushthan or karmakand. These are the three pregnant terms that are used to address what you call the rituals. Please, next slide, please. Yes. Let's define the rituals. They are also called rites, R-I-T-E-S. Cambridge Dictionary, a way of doing something in which the same actions are done in the same way every time. Coffee and newspaper are part of my morning ritual. Wordsworth performing a complex mating ritual, a fixed set of action and words, especially as a part of religious ceremony. This part of ceremony is nothing more than formal ritual. Next slide, please. In Vedic traditions, this ritual concept has been enlarged and encompasses a lot of other activities and fields. It's wonderful. There are no equivalent terms in other cultures' languages are found. In Vedic rituals includes karma, kriya, sanskar, homa, yagna, utsav, tirthayatra, puja, seva, brata, yoga, and many more. a formalized action that is ultimately by itself or a part of larger performance aimed at securing the support of one or more supernatural beings for achieving a specific goal. I enlarge this rituals, just like we are doing today, these rituals. There are listeners and there is a bhakta. They are doing this ritual through Zoom, new technology. This is also a ritual. All the activities through manasa, vacha, karmana are under Lok Sangraha Yogadharma-Kshetra, are the dharma vidhi or karma kand or rituals. Next, please. So look at the further understanding. The order of actions followed in every ritual practice become participatory patterns through which the basic human capacity to create new actions, sounds, objects, and images elevated as a way of contributing to the broader structure of the universe. It relates to broader structure of the universe. As we will see in the new development within the Samskaara Kshetra, Hindu rituals engage human beings in the artisanship of the world. We are participants and active participants in this process of reconnecting with the rest of the world, our individual personality. One of the most celebrated examples of this willing decision to participate in the world upholding structure of society is Arjuna's decision to maintain his Varna Dharma in the Bhagavad Gita. Arjuna not fighting for his own security or for his own glory. He was fighting for maintaining, upholding, enriching the Lok Sangraha Yogadharma. That's what he was fighting for. Next slide, please. The primary sources for these rituals that we are going to talk about are Rig Veda 1085 and Atharvaveda Kand 14. Atharvavedic hymns have been taken from Rig Vedic hymns but with minor changes. Regarding the ceremonies given the Vivaaha Samskaara hymns or mantras of the Rig Veda, Atharvaveda, one thing should be observed that the main outlines of the Hindu Vivaaha Samskaara rituals of the today are almost the same as they were some 5,000 years ago. What a wonder of maintaining dignity and credibility of such an ancient tradition. In this course, besides learning these rituals, we are going to bring in new set of ritual which has not been integrated in this Vivaaha Samskaara for last 5,000 years. And that new elements, new set of rituals, you will see, will directly reconnect with our lost relationship with the rest of the world and rest of the natural world. Next slide, please. Number of rituals may vary from 10 to 40. Very important. Large variation is found in the Graha Sutra of all the 4 Vedas. There also are result of local traditions, regional traditions that they have added, making up large number. Within Bharat, their variation number order has been observed to change with the region to region, but several of those that remain unchanged. Here only the most popular yet important will be discussed. Why all ritual performed? That the question I am raising now. Why all the Dharma Vidhi, all the Samskar Vidhi in Vivaaha Samskar is performed, carried out in presence of a central deity, Agni Devata, through Yagna. Why it is done? So I'm going to stress this particular aspect, this important question. Why Agni Devata is the central deity in Vivaaha Samskar? And you will be listening and watching the dimensions which have not been normally disclosed to you. Even during before Vivaaha Samskar, before Vivaaha Samskar, or common understanding of the Agni Devata. In the popular lectures, YouTube lectures, or so-called lectures by intellectuals and Vedic pundits. Next, please. The very first and central image of the Rig Veda and Vedic Sanatana Dharma is the Yagna cosmic ritual. And the very first Devata for Yagna is the Agni Devata. And the first actions, karmas, are Yagna ritual. Those were the first karmas before the creation took the shape that you see. This is very important understanding. That's why selecting out of many divine entities, 11 principal entities from Rig Veda, only Agni Devata, why this one chosen to be representing the primary foundational aspect of our existence and the rituals. Next slide, please. Look at the Rig Veda, what does it say? It was you, Agni, most ancient, whom the ancients of the old, observers of cosmic law, and kindled by their aid. O Devata, created by life, power, signing the adorable, one thing who brings comfort to all men, worthy of worship, Devata of the heart and home. Next slide, please. Yeah, this is the central image. And this central image really, if you go back to my previous lecture, you'll find out in this central image, Agni Devata is there, Yagni Bedi is there, and chanting is going to be there. Havis is going to be offered. All these activities along the paraphernalia that you have around the fruits, flowers, and all that, this is the reflection of the microcosm of the Adibhautik, Adhyatmic, or Adidevic world. All together come in this central image of Yagna. Also, I would like to point out to you at this particular stage, very unique insight that this is the first image that you see. That is also the source of Murti Puja. That's where it starts from. Concrete, visual, audio-visual understanding and comprehension of the cosmos and the source of the cosmos. Next slide, please. Let's look at it also here, very important. I will not discuss details about the yagna. I will simply mention, because in order to understand the ideas behind yagna, yoga, dharma, and all that, I need to give another series of lectures. Yagna word with the associated meanings, which are multidimensional, found in the Vedas, Brahmana, Upanishad, Bhagavad Gita, Purana, epics, in almost every Vedic literature. For example, Bhagavad Gita, type of yagna. Devam yagna, to offer self. By the self, Atma yagna. Offer hearing other senses as yagna, in the fire of self-control. Offer linguistic word, sound, other sense object yagna, in the fire of senses. To offer all other actions of senses and functions of prana as yagna, in the fire of control in the self, kindled by knowledge. Next slide, please. To offer wealth, austerity, and yoga as yagna. To self-restraint and rigid vows, offer study of the scriptures and knowledge as yagna. To offer as yagna the outgoing into the incoming breath, incoming into the outgoing breath, constantly practicing the regulation of vital energy. To offer the regulated food in the pranas, and the pranas as yagna. There are many, many such yagna. And finally, yoga is yagna. The kind of activities we are engaged in right now is a yagna, is a yoga, is a dharma, all come together in this ritual that we are engaged in now. Next slide, please. Some critical thoughts. What a beauty, wonder, and mystery. Berber root yagna means consecrate, hallow, honor, or offer. Yagna is the very course of Vedic worldview. The fabric like a spider web or cloth is woven, thus the yagna by mysterious action, and through this exercise that is sustained, rejuvenated, and healed. There are public ceremonies as well that continue for several days. They are reuniting people with common purpose. By means of yagna, the gods sacrificed to the yagna. Those were the first dharmas. Active participation in the cosmic process of creation, sustenance, and dissolution is yagna, is also dharma. What a wonderful union, yogic union of different concepts and ideas and foundational doctrines and pragmatic world coming together, and through the Agni Devata, within the Agni Devata. Next slide, please. Invocation to Agni Dev. That's the first Vedic month. I sing lots to Agni, Purohit, the priest, Devata, and host chanter, the Ritvik, who brings all wealth and blessing. This is Rig Veda, very first mantra of Rig Veda. It's a Gayatri Chant, and I'm decoding this with new dimensions. Agni as Devata, Purohit, Hotra, Rituj, all in one yogic personality. This is the Gayatri Chant, 24 matras, which also measure of Ganesh Shastra and Chanda Shastra. Time is continuous, containing peaks and valleys, the way is recited. All the matras, the methods of recitation, they're full of, again, entire field, how these mantras have been propagated, passed on through Guru Shish Parampara with really almost zero corruption and pollution. Sangeet, this is also, when you sing these mantras, it's also the source of music, cosmic sound vibration. It's also Bach, divine language. Ratna, all the Ratnadhatmam, Balag and blessing, all kinds of wealth, including Vidya. Please, next slide. Yogic mantra built-in integration of digital and continuous times, sound vibration, meanings, language structure, measure yogic Shakti, invocation to Agni Devata, pervading three worlds, entire cosmos, internal as well as external, human sarira and the natural world. All come together. And this is the source of all other sanskaras, all other divine activities, all other activities we are involved in for maintaining and sustaining the world process. Next slide, please. Again, the first appearance of the word dharma in Sam Veda 1.3.12 and Rig Veda as well 1.12.7. This is a very important. Adidevik, Adhyatmik, Adibhautik Dharma Kshetra and Adhyagnik Yoga Dharma Kshetra, they're all come together. And this is the Dharma or Agni. World is supported on Dharma. World is sustained on Dharma. World created on Dharma. World is going to be dissolved back into Dharma. This Dharma eternal. And that is the region we call it Sanatan Dharma. Next slide, please. Yes, Yagna, the Vigyan Yoga Kshetra experimental aspect. This is the Agni Chain ritual. Not going to details, but this is how they figure the bird. And all these layers are having a mathematical structure. Professor Fregestal was the one whose initiatives and efforts were participated and the big Yagni chain performed in 1975 by Nambudri Brahmins of Kerala. Most ancient, uniquely profound tradition has been banished. It's no longer on this scale, is performed in full, with full understanding and full sort of vidya or ritual. Next. Here is a very, very interesting, unique phenomena. Yeah. No. Please go back. 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 Before this slide. Yeah, here. 3,000 years of algorithmic rituals which were used in constructing the Vedis, Yagnasala. And can you stay on the last slide, please? No, I think you are moving forward. You have to go backward. I'm so sorry. I don't know what's happening today. Yes. The professor this is the next one. Yeah, the professor has identified the source of AI algorithm to this yagna. Next, please. And these are they are given those slides. I am not going to go in details. Next slide, please. Yeah, so it was the gods are the universal creator and sustainer with firm minds and virtuous they fashion the heavens. And they come to the foundation of earth, entering into this world through their hidden natures. And they adorn the regions for Indra's control. Measuring with rulers, they fix the wide expanses and separate and secure the immense world. Entering into this world, this is the fundamental, foundational separation from rest of the world tradition. The creator entered into the creation, still remained beyond above creation. Measuring with rulers, this is the origin of concept of mathematics, measure and dimension, but really relates back to Maya. This is one of the dimensions of Maya. Next, please. And next, please. I think we want to skip. You can read it later on when they are posted. Agni with three forms, one placed on the earth, other one. Agni for three forms, one the Adibhotik Agni, they call fire, all devouring placed on the earth and the womb of earth. Sky in the form of Vidvat and Dhuloka in form of sun. These are the manifestation, pragmatic manifestation of the Agni Devata. And Agni Devata is also pervading the whole human body, pervasiveness, whole human body. In what form? Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Yeah, here, just hold on this slide. All three realms, Prithvi Lok, Antariksh Lok, Sun Lok, infect all the galaxies as well as the biological bodies. This is the Adibhautik form, as sun, the source of existence, sustenance, as well as the distribution. Heat, energy, light, various forms of radiation, Vidyut, lightning, fire, electricity within the human body, and other biological entities, neurological activities, various forms of energy, chemical, digestive fire, electromagnetic, all. And also, this is a vehicle of communication. If we look at the all contemporary communication technology, these radiations are the vehicle for intercommunication. Otherwise, we would not be communicating to each other sitting thousands of miles away. These are the characteristics hidden within the Agni Deva in all the three dimensions. Please, next slide, please. Adhyatmik Sarup, watch, the Bak, we speak, visual center in the brain. Adidevic Sarup, Sukshma, hidden, unmanifest, and divine. Speed of light, for example, contemporary measurement, this is the speed of light. Near to this value was also mentioned in the Rig Veda. So please, next slide, please. Yeah. Agnideva, there are 7 samdhaya, samidhiyan, fuel used in yajna. 7 jivas, flame. 7 are drashta and rishi. 7 are the hotra, who offer articles of oblation in yajna. 7 are the chandas. 7 types of performances, and 7 are chitti, yoni, or birthplaces. There's also mathematical operation involved in the mantra. Please note here the mysterious number 7. It will reappear when we talk about the one of the new ritual I have introduced in the Vivaaha Samskaara. Number 7. Next, please. Additional forms of Agni in human body: Jnanagni, Darsagni, Jetragni, Pran Sarup, Pranagni, Apan, Bayan, and the whole human body is yagna and yogic fire. Whole human body. This is one of the very interesting definitions of adding to myriads of definitions of human sarira. Next, please. Contemporary, let's look at the contemporary scientific understanding of the sun's electromagnetic radiation. It has 7 regions. Can you believe the number 7 comes up? Radio waves, microwaves, infrared, visible light, ultraviolet, X-rays, gamma rays. Again, the 7 regions. And I have given a new name to this whole, all the radiation inherent and modes of present in the Agni, birth of a new proposed term called Bikiran Brahma. There are all kinds of Brahma: Char Brahma, Achar Brahma, Amrit Brahma, Marth Brahma, for example. And I have added then another term, Bikiran Brahma. Thank you. Next slide, please. Now, let's look at the comments here. These comments have been outcome of my very thoughtful meditation, contemplation on the ancient Hindu wisdom traditions and contemporary development of scientific and technological world for last 200 to 300 years. Hindu mind failed. I repeat, Hindu mind failed despite all the knowledge behind Agni Deva. In what sense? To physically identify, characterize, and to experimentally generate electricity, for example. To originate the long-distance communication through electromagnetic propagation. To really comprehend the Vedic idea that the Vedic chants can reach to divine realm through this inherent propagation. And Agni Deva is the witness par excellence. Hence, he is at the center of Vivaaha Samskaara in all other yagnas and homas. Next slide, please. Reason for failure, several, but just name a few. Overemphasis on Vedanta, theory and practices. Undermining, ignoring, and even ridiculing the Vaisheshik Darsas and Padarth Vigyan. Ignoring very profound tradition of already existing experimental sciences and engineering in many areas. Devaluing and not developing further the experimental science in many areas. The whole yoga tradition in all dimensions is the practical aspect, is the experiment aspect of understanding the reality of existence and going beyond the reality of existence. This is the experimental aspect based on theoretical understanding of the worldview. The spirit of innovation discovery remained dormant for a very, very long time, my dear listeners. Very important to realize that there are some, as a result, blind following of the best, alienation, separation from Vedic wisdom. Note, there are some new initiatives by younger and older generation within India, trying to bring new excitement, new understanding based on our ancient Vedic wisdom. But what my personal experience is, by interacting with so many intellectuals, that the real Karma Yogi zeal is missing. We talk about all the time, but that's not enough. It has to become concrete, a manifestation of those ideas in concrete way to our living tradition, thought process, manasa vacha karmana. Rajiv ji, hello. Can I continue a few more minutes?
Yes,
Pooja
sure.
ji, hello.
Yes, please continue.
Can I continue? Because we started late. So I'm so sorry. I don't know what happened here.
Yeah, you can continue.
Okay, please.
Please take your time.
Yeah. Next time. Next slide, please. Next slide, please. Okay. So go back. So I was just concluding that. Let's see. So it will not take much time. Concluding pairs all must recite together if you know. Om Sayana Vavtu, Sayana Bhunaktu, Sayaviryam Karavavahi, Tejastu Navadhitumastu, Ma Vidyusavahi, Om Santi 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 Harihi Om. Next slide, please. I just wanted to summarize that what we have been talking in this lecture. And you have these lectures available on the Google Class website, for which you should have address and access, because that information has been sent to you through your flyer. And I have gone through these slides and ideas very, very briefly. Each of these slides, ideas, can take several hours of discourse. So I think, and that may be little difficult given the kind of focused time that we can spare. That's the unfortunate part. Each of these ideas requires several hours of presentation and discussion. So please keep in mind, at least from this lecture, you should be aware of following things, at least. Number one, what we call rituals has a greater understanding within the Vedic traditions. Ritual is only one term that is used in English language, but we have other activities. And let me summarize that activity. Any repeated activities through manasa, vacha, karmana, we are engaged in personally, family-wise, socially, nationally, internationally, for the upliftment of humanity, for reconnecting with the original source of existence, with reconnecting each other in various dimensions, in various forms. And that is nutshell called the Dharma Vidhi or Karma Kand. Next thing, we have addressed, though briefly, and documented observations of why the Agni Devata is a central figure, central deity in the all kinds of yagna and homa. And yagna homa are really more than simply outside world. There's also yagnas are going within the world, within the human body. So you have a cosmic yagna, all the process going on. But even within our own body, we are not aware of. And many of we want to remain ignorant without comprehending, without embodying, and without talking about it within your families and friends and social domain at large. This is what we expect you to do. My humble request, this is what we expected you to do. Please talk about these ideas, how they can be understood, the kind of actions, the kind of sanskars they are engaged in. So please, that's the other thing. Why Agni Devata is so important? That answers the question. Now, I will request you with my folded hand, please limit your questions on the current session. And your questions are so important because they promote meaningful dialogue that can clarify the potential confusion, misunderstanding, and promote enhanced understanding and new insights as well. Actually, I learn a lot through your questions. As a teacher, I have been in the university teaching all the classes from undergraduate to PhD level. And I used to ask the class, please raise your questions. If you do not raise your question, either you don't want to understand what you have been taught, or you don't want to ignore, or I, as a teacher, is not successful enough to communicate at the level that you are in. So I myself really learned a lot through these questions, through these personal discussions, any confusion, conflict. That I love those paradoxes and confusion contexts. So my gratitude to your immense kindness, and I look forward to your blessing. You all are so kind. You are all so wonderful. You are all so kind. Thank you again very much. So I will invite the question answer. You can stop the display. Thank you so much. I hope this has been a good experience for all the listeners. Unfortunately, I was going a little faster than normally I do because we started a little late. I don't want to really dwell upon, but you are free to ask questions. You are free to post your questions on the Classroom website. That way others also can benefit. I will be able to answer those questions. With that note, again, I bow down to all of you. Poojaji, thank you so much. Rajiv ji, thank you so much for your kindness. Ramuji, thank you so much, new team, for your help and support and for guidance. Thank you so much. Yes, please. Question, answers. I think you raise your hand, please.
Yeah, so I had one question. I'll start. So you are connecting yajnas, the Vedic yajnas, with the AI algorithms, and you quoted a research paper as well.
Yes, really, this is a very interesting phenomena. I discovered in the search for this and discovered a paper, written paper by authentic philosopher and a scientist. And he said, no, I can go back to this yagna to see the traces of the AI algorithms. In fact, if you look at this, it's a wonderful question. Let me elaborate a little bit about it.
Mm-hmm.
The way the Vedi is constructed, the Agni Vedi is constructed, it has very definite layers, shape and size. And even the temples construction, old temples you see, go and look at those, they are based on what you call fractal geometry. It means self-similarity as you go up and up and up. Many of the phenomena in the natural world based on what you call the self-similarity growth, growing with self-similarity. The underground structure and a level, upper level structure, they coordinate through what you call the similar aspect and similar dimensions. So the AI algorithm, if you look at those, AI algorithm also based on a structured, organized piece of information in such a way that they can answer the question. So their search then crystallized, giving you the answer based on that structuring, restructuring, organization, and deorganization within the computer network, within the serving servers. So this is very interesting. So the very elements of that kind of thinking were available, were thought about it, but they did not use the term AI. That's the new terminology. That's the fundamental difference. And we knew how to construct the Vedis. We knew how to perform the yagna, which really knowledge and technology is disappearing and almost disappeared. But we did not go forward to bring out those ideas into contemporary technological world. That's what we have missed. Still we are missing. We are still trapped in our ignorance created by our own intellectual trap. So briefly, does that make sense to you, Rajevji?
Yes, I mean, beginning to, yes, but it may take
Okay.
probably
Yeah, it's
further
a long
study.
subject. We can really discuss those later on. Because I have given a talk also on AI, artificial intelligence versus real intelligence. It's a what you call its benefits, its drawback, its limits.
Right.
Yes, thank you. Any
Yeah, thank
other,
you.
I think somebody is raising the hand. Hello? Pooja, somebody is raising the hand.
Yeah, I can see there is a name, JL Bhan. If you have any question, please ask. Please ask, or you can write in chat, or you can just open your camera and ask the questions directly.
Namaste, Professor Ji. You talked.
Namaste.
You talked today about Agni and as a central devata within the Homa.
That's right.
But you also mentioned that it has several forms, and you mentioned one or two of those. Is it possible at a future date for you to expand on those and give a description about, for example, there's one that we see as fire, there's one that we see inside the wood, there's one that we see or experience inside our own body, like that.
Yeah.
And these are all mentioned at different places in the Vedas. So would it be possible for you to make a reference to those in a future presentation?
Yes, I will. I try to locate those, the references. That's a good thing. Please send me through my email address to what extent you are looking for it, and some of the things, some of the ideas that we talked about here, they may not be available in one location. They're scattered all around, even within the Vedas. They're scattered all around.
Yes.
Okay. And also I have what the presentation includes, my new correlations. For example, 777, new correlations, for example. Very, very wonderful coincidence, if you will. That how the 7 number, and this 7 number will reflect when I present to you a next design, when you call the fairy in the ritual of the Vivaaha Samskaara. It will reappear there, and that is the fundamental reason behind the 7, not the 4 or not the 0. Circumambulation around the 5, around the Agni Dev.
Thank you.
So, yeah, I have given you some new dimensions. You can look at those online, I think on website, and you can try to digest those, and then we can discuss further.
Thank you.
Thank you. Hello.
जय श्री कृष्ण।
जय श्री कृष्ण बहन जी।
आपने ये तो बहुत सुंदर बताया, अग्नि को इस रूप में कि अंतरिक्ष में, विद्युत और सूर्य में, और फिर अग्नि के रूप में, और
हाँ।
फिर आपने उसका यज्ञ का बहुत विस्तार से बताया कि गीता में जो भगवान ने 9वें अध्याय के 16वें मंत्र में कि मैं ही सब कुछ हूँ, मैं ही अग्नि हूँ, मैं हूँ उसमें हूँ। तो मैं चाहती हूँ कि अब थोड़ा और इसको विस्तार से कि हमारे विवाह संस्कार में अग्नि को हम जो इतना महत्व देते हैं, या वहीं से हम फिर लेते हैं अग्नि को, तो उसमें थोड़ा और उसको आप अगर अगले हफ्ते उसमें विस्तार से बताएंगे कि क्यों इतना महत्व है अग्नि का। वैसे तो आपने बताया कि शरीर में भी अग्नि है, बिना अग्नि के तो जीवन चल ही नहीं सकता, और वेद की शुरुआत भी अग्नि मिले से हुई है। तो
बहुत आपका अच्छा प्रश्न है। इसको हम और विस्तार करेंगे जब हम विवाह संस्कार का जो है ये नया संस्कार जोड़ेंगे, तो हम अधिक विस्तार करेंगे। और सबसे खास बात ये है, मतलब इससे रियली इट्स सो थ्रिलिंग फॉर मी एंड इट शुड बी थ्रिलिंग टू ऑल ऑफ यू. It was really a kind of, after going through this yogic meditation, contemplation on the ideas and the worldview of the Vedic rishis, it was thrilling for me to experience firsthand what is going on here. Why they do what they do? That's the question. So really, if you go back and look at the very first act, that's the yajna. And yajna contains all form energies, all forms of action through which the energy will transform into material world. And even look at the contemporary field of physics, elementary particle physics. They're going back to say, well, the space is not empty. The space is full of quantum foam radiations. Shunyata concept does not hold good. So when you talk about the shunya, you are talking about, well, my eyes do not see anything. I do not directly experience anything. And you call it shunya, void. No, it is not void. So, and actually, in fact, it's a good question you raised. Let me add one more comment. One of the very distinguished individual, I joined with him. He was from Arya Samaj, and he was conducting the yagna. So after performance, after the action, after everything done, I sat down with him. I then asked a question that yes, in the Arya Samaj, you do not prescribe the Murti Puja. You say this is, this has no value, it has no relevance, it is meaningless. What are these? Because you think the deity does not respond, and deity cannot respond because deity is not there in the Murti. I said, that's wonderful, that's wonderful. Let me ask you this question then. How do you think by performing this yagna, you are sending out the message to the divine world? How is to the divine world? How do you explain that? Because I don't see it with my eyes. I don't understand. He did not have any answer. Now we know what the answer is. That the Agni itself carries all the information through its radiation. And this radiation pervades entire universe. Adi Bhautik, Adhyatmik, Adidevic. That's how communication takes place. That's why the mantra recitation is important. Suppose you perform the yagna, without mantra, effect is not full, not complete. One or the other will not work. And I said, well, you don't believe in Murti Puja. Don't you think the Yagvedi that you have constructed here is a Murti Puja? It's a concrete form, concrete manifestation of the process. Don't you think it's a Murti Puja? He did not have any answer. So this is some of the comments based on my experiences. And thank you so much, Behenji. So kind of you. You could join in and give me, please, blessing. Thank you. Any other question? Pooja ji, you have some questions because you are the younger generation. You should have a lot of questions.
Yeah.
Through
So,
your
Shivji,
questions, I can transmit more through your questions.
Yeah, Shivji, I have one question. Like, it's very easy.
Okay.
Actually, I am teaching Hindu Dharma classes. So
Okay.
where I learned that name Yajna first time. So some people call Yajna with the Yajna, and
Yeah.
the second side they are writing Yagna. So what is
Okay.
the difference between both of them?
I tell you what the difference, because the Yagna Gya is a really is a compound sound with the J and N together. So it's not easy to pronounce. So that's why they in the other languages, Hindi, I know it has been Yagna, Yagna. But really authentically it's be Yajna. That's the only difference. Is the pronunciation.
Oh.
How the Gya letter.
Okay.
Yeah, how the Gya, Kshetra Gya letter is a compound letter with the sound made of J, ja, and na. Ja and Y, yeah. Ja and Y, I'm sorry. Ja and
Oh.
Y, J and Y, ja and ya. That's some combined together becomes the sound for Gyan.
Okay, got it, Shivji. Thank you so much. Participants, if you have any question still, you can ask. Otherwise, we are ending this session here.
Poojaji, what I will do, hello?
Yeah, yeah.
Poojaji,
Yes.
I will do the next one. In case the Zoom messes up with this, I will send you in advance
Yeah,
the complete file for the next lecture.
no problem. You can
So
send
that
me.
in case I cannot project it, you can project it. And I think next lecture is going to be on July 20th, Saturday, at the same time with the same ID numbers. So please join us on 20th of July, Saturday at 8 a.m. Pacific time, 8:30 p.m. Indian time. Namaskar to all.
Thank you, Shivji. I will join. I
Namaskar
think
to all.
there is
Namaskar.
one hand raised.
Namaskar ji.
नमस्कार जी, नमस्कार जी.
ये जो आपने टोटल 13 सेशंस लिखे हैं वो 12वीं सेशन है. 13 लिखा शायद समझने में कुछ मिस्टेक हुआ है. टोटल 12 सेशंस आर देयर.
You are right. There are 12 sessions.
Hmm?
That's also, I think it's a oversight.
It's a oversight.
Yeah, because July 6th and 20th, then I have a gap because I will be
Yes.
out of country.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
then next session after July will be September 7 and September 21, then October
Correct.
5 and 19, then November 2 and 16. So I think
Okay.
there are 12 sessions.
Okay. And secondly, the timing, whatever is the session, it is a difference from US, because in India, timing never changes. But US, I think, is a 1 hour and half an hour always going to change. So this, so what you call the slot is going to change, or it will remain that way only?
No, if it,
Yeah,
when it changes, I don't remember.
no, it
talking
will.
again.
Yeah, the US time will remain the same. The India time will change in
Change.
November. After 5th November, the India
Hmm.
time will be, yeah, 1 hour.
Half an hour before, I believe.
1 hour. Yeah, it will be a 1 hour
1 hour.
difference.
Okay, 1 hour different more. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. It's nice. It's really is a different dimensions what means it was explained, and it is far from what we think of earlier. Let me see with the other sessions. Number of questions are in my mind, but right now those questions may not be at a right prospect right now. So I will definitely write down something as a what you call a prelim type of questions, and then I will share with you.
Thank you so much, Rajiv ji. Thank you so much, Rajiv.
Namaskar ji.
Namaskar.
Thank you, Shivji, and thank you all the participants for listening
Mishra ji,
this
thank
session
you. You could
patiently.
join. Thank you so much.
See you in the next session. Thank you. Namaste.